Imagine this. The most important fighter jet in the U.S. Navy today was literally hours away from being canceled forever. The program was broke, politicians wanted it dead, and the Navy had already picked its replacement, a futuristic stealth bomber that never even made it to the runway. Yet somehow, that almost dead project rose from the grave and became the unbreakable backbone of every American aircraft carrier in 2025. How does a fighter go from the chopping block to flying combat missions every single day against the Houthis in the Red Sea? Stay with me for the next minutes, and I'll reveal the secrets, the battles, and the raw power behind the F/A-18E/F Super Hornet. And if you love stories like this, smash that subscribe button right now. Let's dive in. Let's go back to the early 1990s. The original F/A-18 Hornet is doing great in Desert Storm, but the Navy is looking ahead. They want stealth, they want the future, and they pour billions into a triangular flying wing called the A-12 Avenger II. It was supposed to replace both the A-6 Intruder and the F/A-18. Then disaster strikes. The A-12 balloons in weight, falls years behind schedule, and in January 1991, the Pentagon cancels it. Overnight, the Navy has no plan for the early 2000s. A massive fighter gap is staring them in the face. Carriers would be defenseless. In desperation, McDonnell Douglas, later Boeing, pitches a simple, almost crazy idea. Just make the Hornet bigger, stronger, and better. Basically, the Hornet on steroids. Critics immediately mock it. They call it the Super Fat Hornet, or Rhino, because of its bigger nose and wider fuselage. But on November 29, 1995, the first Super Hornet lifts off, and the laughter stops fast. It's 25% larger, carries 33% more internal fuel, has 2 extra weapon stations, 11 in total, and brand new General Electric F414 engines that pump out 44,000 pounds of thrust combined. The wings are 40% bigger, the radar signature is noticeably smaller, and pilots quickly realize this isn't just a stretched Hornet, it's an entirely new beast. The Super Hornet doesn't have to wait long for combat. In March 2003, jets from the USS Abraham Lincoln launched the opening strikes of the Iraq War, dropping the Navy's very first GPS-guided JDAMs in anger. Over the next 20-plus years, Super Hornets fly in every major American air campaign. Libya in 2011 enforcing the no-fly zone. Syria and Iraq against ISIS from 2014 onward. And right now, in 2025, they're still launching daily from the Red Sea against Houthi missiles. Perhaps most impressive is the electronic attack version, the EA-18G Growler. It's so good at jamming that Russian commanders in Syria openly complain they can't track anything when a Growler is overhead. Ask any Navy pilot why they love the Rhino, and they'll give you the same answers. It's insanely reliable. Over 500 flight hours between major failures. The fly-by-wire system is so forgiving, you almost have to try to stall or spin it. It pulls 9 Gs all day, lands on a carrier at night in a storm, and can carry every single weapon the Navy owns, from the latest AIM-1 20D AMRAAM to anti-ship harpoons to British Storm Shadow cruise missiles on Australian jets. The AN/APG-79 AESA radar is still one of the best multi-role sets in the world, and the two-seat F model is perfect for training rookies or running complex strike packages. It's not flawless, though. It was never designed to be stealthy. It has a reduced radar signature, but an F-35 or Su-57 will spot it long before it sees them. Top speed with a combat load is only about Mach 1.6, slower than a Rafale or Typhoon. Range is excellent, but still shorter than a land-based F-15 E-Strike Eagle. And the airframes are starting to age. Some are already past 8,000 flight hours. Boeing is keeping them alive with the Block 3 upgrade, but everyone knows the clock is ticking. So where does it stand against the other 4.5 generation Kings? The French Rafale has slightly better aerodynamics and the legendary Spectre suite, but far less combat experience. The Eurofighter Typhoon is faster and climbs like a rocket, yet it can't operate from a carrier. The Russian Su-35 has scary thrust vectoring maneuvers, but its maintenance and avionics lag behind. The Swedish Gripen E is cheaper and easier to operate from roads, but its payload and range are tiny. In the end, no other jet can do fleet air defense, deep strike, buddy tanking, and electronic attack from a pitching deck in the middle of the ocean day after day, the way the Super Hornet can. The latest Block 3 models rolling off the line in St. Louis right now have conformal fuel tanks, a huge 10 by 19-inch cockpit display, advanced networking to control drones and F-35s, and an even smaller radar signature. Australia and Kuwait are flying them. Finland just bought land-based versions, and the Growler will remain the Navy's premier electronic attack platform into the 2040s. The jet the Navy almost killed is now the one keeping carriers relevant in a world of Chinese J-20 and hypersonic missiles. From near cancellation in the 1990s to more than 600 built, and still in production in 2025, the Super Hornet is living proof that sometimes the best solution is the one that's already on the drawing board. It's not the flashiest, it's not the stealthiest, but it is the toughest, most versatile carrier fighter on Earth. If this story fired you up, do 3 quick things. Hit that like button, subscribe, and turn on notifications because next week we're going even deeper, and tell me in the comments, Super Hornet versus Rafale, who wins? And I'll see you in the next one.